Welcome everyone to the House of Dre's podcast, and today happens to be absolutely one of the biggest, the longest podcasts that we've done on this platform to date. It is the ultimate DCEU ultimate review. Yes, I had to go through my entire episodes to make sure I didn't do this already. And I looked through it. I don't see it on there. And guess what we about to be doing? That's right. I want y'all to sit back. No, you don't have to sit back. Walk around, jog, whatever you do when you listen to podcasts. Is you might want to take your time of doing it this time because I'm about to be talking for a while. My prediction, I want this month to be like 2 hours long. 2 deep hours long. Yeah. No, I don't know how long this is going to be, but I would assume it's going to be a very long podcast. So what we're going to be doing is, or what I'm going to be doing is, we're going to go over every single movie that the DCEU have created. We will talk about the only TV show that they did, which was Peacemaker. And then we'll be talking about all the council/WeWork series that never saw the light and or will be getting re-edited for the new DCU that's coming out. Now, let me help y'all out. First of all, what's the difference between DCEU and the DCU? The DCU will be the James Gunn's canon version of DC. So this is called DC's universe, right? This is what it's called. It's called DC's universe. The DCEU was the extended universe. And during that time frame, that's when they was just doing DC movies just to do them with no really continuation, not really putting in the effort and time. It's a failure because it's supposed to have rival Marvel in the MCU. They're supposed to have rival Marvel in the MCU, but they never got to that point at all. They should have. They 100% should have. They have just as much rich lore as Marvel does, DC does, but yet it failed. It definitely failed. So here, we're going to review that entire Dead films. And not only we're going to review them, talk about the pros and cons of each movie, what happens, and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you hit that share button. Make sure you're liking it. Make sure wherever you read, whatever platform you're listening to, make sure you're leaving comment section, hit this 5-star review. I'm the only podcaster out there that's going to be doing stuff like this. You won't be able to search up any other podcasters that give you your fantasy stuff, that gives you real life stuff, that gives you music, that give you movies, that give you massive anime reviews. I mean, not anime reviews, universes reviews and stuff. I'm the only one. It's only me. There's only me. I'm sorry, but there's only me. There is no one else. I'm sorry. Sorry to tell y'all that, but it's only me. So with that out the way, let's begin. First of all, we'll start off with the very first movie that they ever did, which happens to be Man of Steel, aka Superman. This is a Superman film. Yes. So in this film, we get the origin stories of Superman. We get him coming from Krypton. After coming down from Krypton, we get him getting involved with human life and adjusting to life and all this stuff. And then we get his big villain, which is General Zod. And pretty much was just a basic Superman film that was really good. It was actually good. This is one of the better movies that they did create. One of the better Superman's movies I've watched. I don't think I've seen any of the old Superman movies. I think that's the only one I have not seen. I've seen all the Batman ones, but Superman movies, they're really older. They're like the 70s and 80s version. I didn't watch any of those, or maybe even the 90s. I don't know. I've never watched any of those, but the fact that we got a Superman film, which was awesome, I enjoyed it. I love everything about the film. The ending was pretty good. Was good too, where we had to have a Superman that actually was forced to kill one of his own because that person refused to give up and was planning on killing the people that Superman is helping detect. And we got that Superman that actually had to push the boundaries, and then we have to have a whole different conversation with Superman. Overall, real good movie. 100% enjoyed this movie. One of the best films that did come out with the DCEU. Let's be honest here. I definitely enjoyed it. I was hoping for a Part 2, didn't get it. Didn't get it. Next movie we got to talk about happens to be Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. One of the movies that is very, in my personal opinion, very negative in the spotlight, and a movie I didn't enjoy myself. I actually went to the theaters to watch this movie, and I was not happy about watching this movie. Let me be honest with you. Now, of course, I've seen some fan of the films that's come out and told me to watch the director's version of it. That makes more sense. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how much sense can it really make. You know what I'm saying? What else can you really do? It's Superman, it's Batman. They're going at it. Not only that, but Lex Luthor's introduced into this universe. There is Abomination. Superman gets killed in this. Wonder Woman makes her appearance in this. A bunch of stuff does happen a lot throughout this entire film. And the fact that some people out and say, you gotta watch the director's, you gotta watch the director's cut. It makes sense. It makes sense. Like, I understand, but at the same time, how much change of the movie that's gonna make it make sense for me is the question. I don't think it's gonna be too many. This movie had what they should have done is remove the Batman versus Superman aspect of the movie and just call it Dawn of Justice. And the reason why I'm saying that is because throughout the whole film, this was more of a one-sided problem, right? It was Batman who had problems with Superman. It was Batman looking to beat Superman. It was Batman is starting up the fight and stuff against Superman himself. So it made it seem like Batman was more of a villain in this, despite we understand why he's doing it, because in Superman's fight against General Zod, they crashed into one of the buildings and killed one of Batman's closest people. Understandable. But the fact that instead of figuring out who General Zod was and all this stuff, instead we have Batman so focused on trying to get rid of Superman in general and everything that Superman stands for his city, and made Batman look like more of the villain in this. Not only did it make him look like a villain, it also made him look dumb when he didn't interfere with anything that Lex Luthor was doing on the side. It was nothing. He wasn't even paying attention to anything Lex Luthor doing. He was paying attention to what Superman was doing. He felt Superman was this evil stuff. It was kind of like it's kind of strange because this is a Batman who's been in the game for a very, very long time, and because this is the Ben Affleck Batman, right? There's a lot of people that didn't like this version. But this Batman's been around for a cool minute. He's seen a lot of stuff that happened in his own city. And granted, I think they should have highlighted that he's been around and saw other stuff too. The fact that he was so against Superman so heavily, so early, was so quickly. I was like, yeah, this is kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I understand it to an extent, but at the same time, yeah, that's a choice. That's a big choice that they decide to make. Now, you keep going watching the movie in general, you seen what Lex Luthor was planning on doing was to kill Superman. That was always been his goal. And he succeeded. He definitely succeeded. And then, you know, you had this, it's kind of bad because you had the whole Martha and why you say that name and the Superman's mom, and that was Batman's mom, and that got criticized because, if I'm not mistaken, a couple months later or beforehand, that's something that Marvel also did for Civil War, was the entire, well, it's similar to an extent, because you had Iron Man and fighting Cap and Winter Soldier, and Cap won, not Cap, you had Iron Man won his revenge because Winter Soldier killed his mom and parents, killed both of them. So it's kind of the same brand. Like I said, I don't know who came first. I forgot which one. It still didn't make it good, you know what I'm saying? It still didn't make it a good film, in my personal opinion. I think the film was kind of lacking a lot to be one of the better films that they could have created. Could have been better. 100% could have been better. But we didn't get that. So sadly, bad movie, in my personal opinion. I understand the storytelling, but it could have been 10 times better. Y'all give me a couple seconds. Let me check on this child to see why she's up here yelling nonstop. Overall, it's whatever. The next film we got to take a look at happens to be Suicide Squad. Not the Suicide Squad. It's the first Suicide Squad. Now, this movie, I've gone into details about the movie multiple times throughout the years, mainly because of the negative feedback that Jared Leto got for his Joker version. So if you want to hear that or want me to talk about it, I'll do a quick breakdown. Basically, Jared Leto's Joker was supposed to be a direct opposite for Ben Affleck's Batman. Well, this Joker was a lot different. This Joker actually had a rich history that they supposed to go into, and they pretty much flirted with, but didn't get a chance to fully make a movie out of it. This Joker is the same Joker that went ahead and killed Robin. Not only did he kill Robin, but that made Batman so angry and upset that he pretty much punched out all of the Joker's teeth in his mouth. And as a result, the Joker ended up getting a grill. The Joker moved more towards of a gangster clown, a psychopathic gangster, and he was running the crime organization as the leader, which is dangerous for everybody because you don't know how the Joker is gonna run around. And that was pretty much that's pretty much his version of the Joker. Something that a lot of people didn't agree with. I think a lot of the negative feedback was also is that the small amount of time that Jared Leto got to be on screen playing the Joker didn't. I mean, it was small bits. It was probably a max of 5 minutes, and I'm being really nice. That's a max of 5 minutes on screen with the character, and a lot of people hated the 5 minutes. I enjoyed the 5 minutes. I'm a Joker fan. Joker is my favorite villain. I enjoy the Joker, but the 5 minutes of screen time was not enough. Even when they came out with an extended version, they gave him a little bit more to flirt with the Harley Quinn stuff. It still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough. There was a lot of stuff that happened in that film that the director even said he has his version of his version of Suicide Squad compared to what came out is two different ones. So this is the very first one we hear about a whole new film, a different film because Warner Brothers put their hands onto it and decided to change it up compared to what the director wanted. So this is the very first time. He was like, the whole thing was Harley and Quinn as Joker stuff starts off, whatever. And then at some point they're supposed to get into it, and Harley Quinn wasn't supposed to, Joker was really putting his fingerprints in Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn was filling the team. It was a lot of stuff. So this is the first one that truly started messing with this has really started up the Warner Brothers is touching stuff that they shouldn't be touching. This is the first example. Moving on, let's keep going. So the whole entire film for Suicide Squad was getting these villains that are locked up, forcing them to pretty much put their life on the line against a being so powerful that they didn't want to call the Justice League. The person that's the main villain in this has to be what's her name? Huntress? No, the Enchantress. Enchantress, I think that's her name. Most likely screwing it up. But here's a lot of problems I have with that part. One, the way she's like a Justice League threat. She had this mystical powers. She had access back to her heart. Her brother was also, they pretty much controlling the entire city probably within a 2 hour period, 2 to 3 hours period. The entire city was on lockdown because of her and her brother. And she was making a massive weapon to, I guess, destroy everybody. What can a Harley Quinn, who is a psychologist who's really good at acrobats, Deadshot, always have one of the best shots possible. That's 2. You have Killer Croc. This version of Killer Croc was so small, I don't even know how he was supposed to be a threat. That's 3. The 4th one was Boomerang. What is he supposed to do? 5, we had, who was the 5th member? The 5th member was this guy who controls fire. I forgot his name. He controls fire. He was like a fire lord. You want to call fire lord, fire demon lord or something like that. But in the film, they sure that he wasn't his old self. He doesn't do that no more. He doesn't burn up all the stuff no more because of his history, because of his past. So he moved away from that. Crazy. They had I know the samurai chick's name, but off the top of my head right now, I cannot think of it. But they had a female samurai user who just has a sword that when she stabs somebody, their souls go within the sword. That's it. They got a 6-person team. What is these 6 people supposed to do against a monster so powerful that control the city within 2 to 3 hours? What is this group was supposed to do? Not only that, but the fact that she was able to change their reality by literally just creating something to make them to show them they can have the perfect life if you let her do what she wants to do. And you're trying to tell me that these villains are like, nah, I don't want to do that. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. I think the problem was some of the casting decisions. Like, I love Will Smith as Deathshot. I would love to see more of that. But they made it to where Deathshot was no longer a villain, and he was more of a anti-hero. The same thing with Harley Quinn. Because if you guys did not know, they was planning on making Harley Quinn the face of DCEU. That's what their goal was. That's the reason why she was so much involved with so much crap. They're trying to make her the face of a company, of an entire universe, and trying to make her break the fourth wall, similar to Deadpool, because by that time Deadpool had already came out. So they saw what Marvel was doing with Deadpool, and it was like, well, we have Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn could do that stuff, and that's what they was moving forward to. The film, I enjoyed watching it because I think it was cool. I enjoyed watching it, but from overall, for everything that's supposed to be going on for a universe like this film sucked. It was bad for continuations, bad for trying to expand the universe. This is one of them films that you don't create right now when you're only 2 movies deep into the DCEU. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those movies you gotta hold on, let's wait, let's establish more stuff, and then we can bring this out. They didn't do that. They was like, we want this, we're gonna do this, and you guys gonna have to deal with it. And we got the results. People did not like it. Like I said, I enjoy it, but that's me. Not everybody else gonna enjoy stuff I enjoy. That's fine. The next movie coming out was Wonder Woman. Yes, the very first Wonder Woman movie was actually good. I don't know anybody else, but the movie was actually really good. We got to see the backstory of how the Amazonists and how they work, how their how kind of like their mythology and stuff works there. Diana, we got to see her in action. We got to see everything. We pretty much got to see everything. The biggest origins, one of their better stories for origin stories possible, and it worked really well. I enjoyed the film all the way through. I thought she was a good standout. I thought it was perfect. I thought at that point in time, being a 4th movie for the DCEU, it was good. It was definitely good. So this gives me 2 good movies in my personal opinion that stand out, and they was both ironically origin stories. So 2 origin stories back to back like that was absolutely perfect. No faults here. I definitely enjoy it, 100%. Now the next movie happens to be pretty much almost the downfall of DC. The DCEU almost got a downfall because of this. This is the Justice League movie. Yes, the heavily, and I do mean heavily criticized Justice League movie, to the point that they actually had to make another one that was the Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League movie. So we're going to cover both. We're going to put them both together, regardless of Justice League in general, because there's a lot of stuff that happened. Another movie where this is the second movie, by the way, the second movie to where Warner Brothers wanted a certain thing, they wanted to do it a certain way. And the director they didn't want to do that way. They didn't want to do it that way at all. And Warner Brothers put their hands in it and started changing stuff and started fixing stuff that they thought needed to be fixed. It results in a bad Justice League movie. Well, then finally, peer pressure, whatever you want to call it, finally, there's like, you know what, Zack Snyder, if you think yours can be better, do it. So Zack Snyder went ahead, got approved, went ahead and pushed the Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League. There's a lot of scenes that was in his version that was still in the original version. It was just a lot of stuff that was added. Now, as somebody who watched both of them, I watched both of them. I have to say, despite all that I still wasn't happy. I was not happy. So this is after Dawn of Justice, Superman is dead. So we have to live in a world where there's no Superman, right? We get a built up to one of the big dogs in DC in general, what was his name? Which happens to be, I forgot his name already. Oh snaps! I forgot their big bad name. Why am I drawing a blank on it? It is, what is it? It's not Stephen Wolf. Stephen Wolf was the main villain. Was the main villain for the movie, but I am drawing a blank on who the real big dog was for some reason. Yeah, some of y'all know who it is. I just can't. For some reason, I am losing my thought process as I'm talking about this because I have to look for him. Darkseid, that's his name. Holy crap. Yes, Darkseid is the real main Superman, super big villain, right? Darkseid, they talk about Darkseid when he first came to Earth and how he was met against some of the strongest gods throughout the entire verse, and hiding the mother box and people, and it's a bunch of stuff that happened, bunch of stuff has happened. So here in this one, that's what we get. We get a build up to building a new team to deal with him. So when you're trying to deal with someone like that, you need big time fighters. Well, by this time, a lot of the old leaders, old fighters are gone, and pretty much they kind of put it in a way to where they're saying that the old fighters are stronger than the new fighters. Which, if you watch anime, you know that's almost true. A lot of the times, you got in Naruto, you have it to where the clans from the past are stronger than the present time because they was war bound, and the present time is not. They're more at peace. You see it through it a lot of, if certain media, it's the exact same thing. That's something that we have to talk about in a side podcast or something. We'll talk about that on a segment. But anyway, so they was like, yeah, these fools are stronger than us and this and that. And they're like, okay, well, that's what's up. So we get this film. We have to bring back Superman, which we did. Then after bringing back Superman, we also now need to figure out how to stop Steppenwolf, who's been pretty much built up better. Compared to the first movie, he was built up a lot better. He felt like more of a threat. And then to have it at the very end to where Darkseid, like, yeah, he's strong, but I'm a bigger threat. I'm a 10 times bigger threat. Cool. Did I enjoy it? I enjoy the a little bit more updated. I enjoyed it. But overall, the entire film itself, a lot of stuff they could have kept. I didn't care for the Flash because I didn't care for the actor who played the Flash. I'm more of the Grant Gustin as the Flash. Let's be honest here. I'm more for Grant Gustin being the Flash. So I didn't care for him. The Cyborg's involvement for me is kind of throws me off because I believe he's Teen Titans. He's part of Teen Titans, not the Justice League. That's just me though. So to me, he felt out of place. But I think for a lot of people, they're like, no, he fits. Out of place for me. Aquaman, new introduction, cool. Then, of course, let's putting everybody together, decent. But I think, personally, it didn't have enough controversy between the team. Because it felt like they dealt with all their problems early and got it out the way. I felt like this was a perfect example. This is a perfect idea for them to copy the Avengers. The first Avengers movies, not the later ones. The first one. The first Avenger movies, they had problems. They had a lot of problems. We had Tony Stark and Captain's problems. We have Trust and Bruce Banner problems. We had Thor's problems. If you don't, stop. We had Thor's problems with understanding the way that they want to do certain things. We had, the team wasn't a team until the world was literally the city was about to be destroyed. And then they came together. Then they kind of fall in order. It was Captain America coming in and telling you, we're going to do X, Y, Z. Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna follow this, and then everything pushed that way. That's what I'm saying. I think the Justice League could have fed more into that. Who cares? Okay, Batman knows everybody. So, what that mean? You know what I'm saying? I think this would have been better if they followed more of a team thing. I think they would have hyped up the team part and showcased then the differences between each other's and different ideologies. They put that into the film and they pushed that kind of harder. I think it could have been a better film. Not only that, but for the Snyder's version, the introduction of Martian Manhunter, who didn't do anything, that was disappointing. He had a concept of having Green Lantern, but then he took it out. Why are you taking stuff out, sir? It's already a 4-hour film. Add him in there. Then we got flirted with the nightmare scene, which I thought was going to be part of the movie, and it wasn't. That was disappointing in that too. So, so I'm one of the ones that wished it was stronger. Even both versions, it don't matter. It wasn't strong enough for me. The conflict wasn't as truly there as it should have been, and they could have done more. They could have done real lot more, but they kind of just did whatever they wanted to and pushed it. Like in the version, it don't matter, especially in the Snyder version. Snyder version, he had me hyped up thinking that he's about to do something absolutely amazing, something we've never seen before, something that rivals Marvel's Avengers storylines. And quite honestly, it didn't do any of that. It kind of just fell flat on its face. And I was like, oh, that kind of sucks, because you had time to redo this film. You had time to redo a lot of this stuff, and you didn't do any of it. So what happened, dog? I thought you was big dogging around here. Didn't do it. That sucks. Like I said, I just wish it was better. That's all. I just wish it was a little bit better. I think it had potential. They wasted potential, and we got what we got. On both sides. Don't matter which one you've seen. Both sides to me wasted potential. What it didn't waste it was Jared Leto's Joker. Yeah, he came back and he won Jehovah. You see how quickly that's easy? Well, all we needed, I'm telling you, all we needed was just a solo Batman film. Ben Affleck solo film with the Joker, talking about the past, doing everything they did to build up to everything else. Would have been perfect. We got to flirt with that, but then when he realized he was just having a nightmare, and that was it, I was like, oh, that could have been better. That definitely could have been better. I had my hopes up too high. Next up, it was Aquaman. So Aquaman's film, I always go back and forth between the Aquaman film. It's because, one, I don't know nothing about Aquaman. I just know he was just super strong in the water. That's all. That's all I knew. So the fact that I had to go in there and learn more about Aquaman and his origin stories, or a loose version of his origin stories, and understand his role with the everything, yeah, it became a better film for me. And once again, that's the third movie, origin stories, Man of Steel and Wonder Woman. That's the third one that they hit the nail on the head. Hit it perfectly. I think they hit it perfectly. I think it was perfect. I don't think you need to do any extra stuff into it. I don't think you needed to. I don't think you needed to do much. I think you did what you needed to do to get the movie out, to push up the character, and get people talking about Aquaman. And I think that was perfect. Now, they did make a second one. I did not watch the second one at all. That was one of the ones I was planning on watching. But after James Gunn came through and they was killing off the DCEU, I was like, never mind. I'm hands off. I ain't got to watch it. So that's my fault. I should have watched it. Will I watch it? Maybe. When I think about it, maybe I'm going through Tubi and it's on there one day. I might watch it. But to go out of my way and watch it, nah, I'm cooked. The next one is Shazam. Now, Shazam, I don't know who the director was. I don't know. They legitimately copied the MCU's flow. The dangerous part about copying that was the MCU also has a problem with too much comedy with strong characters. And for Shazam, that's exactly what the director decided to do. Shazam, the first Shazam movie was pretty much your ideal of what you want to do. You got the origin story. You understand that this is a kid becoming an adult. He's not going to forget that he's still a kid at heart. New powers, getting thrown into this type of world, especially in the modern day world, which works perfectly with cell phones and stuff. It was kind of funny. It was good. It was perfect. I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect for them. Once again, that's the fourth one. That is the fourth time you can do this. This is I'm telling you, the DCEU, they was working on a good formula. They was working on a good formula when the origin story. So I think this was a really good movie. Once again, not too advanced on Shazam's lore. I know back in the day, y'all, back in a very long time ago, ironically, if you do not know this, Shazam, at first his name was Captain Marvel, right? Guess who else is Captain Marvel? Captain Marvel from Marvel. That she was there. These two where Marvel ended up putting a copyright on the Captain Marvel name, something DC should have hurried up and jumped onto, but they didn't do it. And they ended up getting copyrighted for it. I think Shazam came before Captain Marvel. I want to say maybe that was the case. I'm not for sure. But it doesn't matter. Once you copyright it, you take that L. So he's still, to me, so he said Captain Marvel. Sometimes I have to wait and think about what they just said. I'm like, oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Captain Marvel. Yes. Marvel. Right. Not Shazam. Right. Okay. Let's make sure. That was something that was very important. When I had an old DC book that had, it was a big book of DC. That's why I learned about DC more characters. And his name was in there as Captain Marvel, aka Shazam too. So, I don't know when that got pushed through, but whatever. But yes, I think Shazam was a good movie. I think it was fun. I think they hit the nail on the coffin. I think they knew exactly how they wanted to go with the film, and they did correctly. I'm proud of them. Once again, that's the fourth one. So like I said, DCU, they didn't have too many bad films. It was just, well, not mine. The next up, because I said that, and then the next movie up, it happens to be Birds of Prey. Oh man, how do we do this one? The Birds of Prey was a bunch of stuff just happening so quickly. As I said earlier, the idea for the DCEU was to push Harley Quinn as their face of their franchise. Because they saw how Deadpool was, they said, we'll just make Harley Quinn like that. Okay. I was like, she got a more jacked up history. But fine, whatever. So in this film, it was everywhere. The characters were incorrect. I didn't get satisfied watching this movie. I watched it back recently too. And I was just like, yeah, they did a bunch of stuff in this movie that I disagree with. Like, golly. So we had Harley Quinn. We had her breaking up with the Joker, which ties into a council project that we'll talk about once we get to the council projects and rework stuff. Well, we had her breaking up with the Joker in the film. Now, in the trailers, they kind of hyped up the whole entire, they kind of made it seem like that was going to be one of the big plots to that, was them breaking up. Because if you guys did not know, especially in the comic book world, when Harley Quinn and Joker break up, they was feared of Joker. They didn't have fear against Harley Quinn. What do y'all think the Harley Quinn TV series is about? Her and Joker breaks up and Harley Quinn trying to stand out on her own, and she doesn't get the same respect because she's not with the Joker. The Joker was a psychopath that if he wanted you dead, he'll just kill you. You know what I'm saying? He ran Gotham City a certain way. Harley Quinn didn't get that same respect because it's like, oh, no, you're just a sidekick. We're not worried about you. We worry about him more than you. So here, that's what the story I was flirting with. This is everything post her and Joker breaking up. After her and Joker breaking up, we're supposed to be getting like a depressed, trying to find her way Harley Quinn. We really didn't get that. We got her more of a trying to be like a mother figure. You want to say that? A role model type deal? Even though we know that's not Harley Quinn at all, 0%. That's not her. That's not what she does. So we had her dealing with Black Mask, which is a big time villain for DC. She had to deal with that. She had to deal with him as the main villain. We got introduced to Cassandra Cain, which is supposed to be a bigger DC hero, but they decided to narrow her down heavily. And I think depending on the lore, she is, if you depending on what lore you'll read, I think she's the daughter of Batman and Catwoman, if I'm not mistaken. I think a certain lore has that. I don't know which one, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that somewhere. I just can't exactly put my fingers onto it. But they had her as just a petty thief. Okay, whatever. We also got introduced to the Huntress, which they did her backstory way too quick and kind of made her feel like a secondary character again. We got Black Carney in this, which is kind of strange because in the CW superhero world, Black Carney is an important character with Green Lantern. I think that's his wife, if I'm not mistaken. And we get her in here, and she didn't feel like they kind of pushed her to the side for absolutely nothing. Like they kind of pushed her to the side for the same way. We got, like I said, we did Black Mask. We got Victor Zsasz. He was in this, and he was playing more of the manipulated role instead of just the big time henchman that he's supposed to be, especially the way Gotham did him in that show where he was a big time threat. It was a lot of stuff happening in this film that I disagreed with. Even watching back, and I still disagreed with him. It's like, man, what are we doing here? I feel like it's just a bunch of stuff that's happening just to happen because they wanted to make the film. Quite honestly, while thinking back to it right now, since we're reviewing this, this is one of them films that if they had their own network, they most likely 100% they could have made this a regular TV series. This could have been a TV series more than anything. Because you know how Marvel has their TV series, right? We're talking about Daredevil. We're talking about Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. We're talking about, what's his name? I'm forgetting the guy with the fist, with the glowing fist, whatever his name is. I forgot that name. We had those people doing that. We also had the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff. And those are, I would call those Marvel TV shows that they was just doing. The same thing that CW was just doing superhero movies for DC without DC acknowledging it, which was a mistake, in my personal opinion. Those TV shows helps a lot, especially with Marvel after the whole MCU stuff started slowing down. When they started doing WandaVision and I forgot the name of that quick. Falcon and Winter Soldier and Hawkeye. When they started doing those in the very beginning, to me, that's a great idea. Expand the lore, expand the characters, give them stuff to do post MCU that's not a live action movie. Quite honestly, She-Hulk, fantastic movie. Fantastic TV show. Enjoyed that. Does that She-Hulk needs to be a live action? No, it doesn't need to be a full freaking film. I enjoyed what they did with her. The same thing that happened with the Hawkeye series. The Hawkeye series, did that need to be a live action movie? No, I don't need to watch 2 hours of Hawkeye just trying to, push away from the scene and stuff. I don't need that. The same thing with, now, I mean, you can go back and forth with Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, they could have done a film with that one. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. But you see the idea. The idea was that they created these TV shows to push these characters and give them something else that's not necessarily a big time movie. You don't need a big time movie for doing a lot of things. And if DC had that, this is the first film I would say that can do that. Yeah, this would be the first one I would like. Should have been a TV series. Don't need a live action series. I think they could have done a lot more 40-minute episodes, breaking down stuff, taking their time to actually understand the story so we can all get involved with it. Not just 2 hours. Here you go. Here you go. There you go. Like, okay, we have a lot of questions. Yeah, don't worry about it. We don't have any directions. Big mistake. That's just a big mistake in my personal opinion. Wasn't enjoyable? To an extent. Like I said, to an extent. Just to an extent. From the Birds of Prey, we're talking about Wonder Woman 1984. Arguably the next film that almost destroyed the entire universe. It was so many negative comments on there, and I can see why. I definitely see why. This film screwed up the lore of Wonder Woman so quickly. It's very interesting how quick directors and stuff can screw up a film. It's fascinating, quite honestly. This film was supposed to be they had this wishing orb or something where people make wishes and they come true, and then they gain this power because of it or something like that, and everybody was benefited from it because he was the main villain. We had Cheetah, which is Wonder Woman's arch enemy. She was in here, but they erased her as an Amazoness that became Cheetah, that rivals Wonder Woman in hand-to-hand combat, that rivals her. They kind of went away with that. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of people I think one of the bigger things that they was upset about was the fact that Wonder Woman drugged a man and forced that man to be her ex-boyfriend that died in the first movie. And we were supposed to be okay with that. Because at the very end, the same guy that she drugged, they ended up meeting again and started dating. That's weird because I can only imagine she's only thinking about her ex and not this guy that she drugged to get her ex back. Very weird. Very, very, very weird movie. And like I said, this is the next movie. I think this is the next movie that screwed up the franchise a lot because of decision making. That was a rough movie. I ain't gonna lie. Watching it, thinking about everything people were saying, and like Myra said, I'm like, this movie kind of weak. I said, compared to the first movie, this movie kind of weak because, as y'all know, I'm a power scaler, and as a power scaler, the community, what we do is there's certain feats and stuff that you do in video games, anime, fantasy, books, live action movies and stuff. That's like this. That's fantasy related. We power scale it's very important to we power scale, and we have to have our information correct. Because as soon as you screw up, everything is thrown off. So the fact that Wonder Woman got hit with let me see, what was it? I can't remember what she got hit with. Was it a rocket launcher or something like that? And she couldn't tank that like she normally could. That's a downgrade. The fact that she had golden wings just to debut it, that's a downgrade. This is Wonder Woman. She has an invisible jet. This is Wonder Woman. She was literally swinging. She was using her lasso of truth to swing from lightning strikes. What are we doing here? She got a downgrade, and that's bad. Because once you downgrade them, it makes it even harder later on when you're the Justice League and stuff, and you're like, well, how is this version of Wonder Woman gonna deal with the big boss and them coming through? Like, what was she supposed to do? She was going toe to toe with Superman. She was matching him, or trying to match with him as best as possible. But now she got this downgrade. Now she ain't touching this man. What are we doing here? Like I said, it's one of those films because it screwed her up as a character because a lot of people turned their nose up to her, and now Wonder Woman is now one of those characters people hated doing the live action stuff. So Wonder Woman 1984. We're starting to get into a role of just bad movies and bad directing and thought processes going here. The next movie, the next movie, that's the next one. No, the next movie is The Suicide Squad. This is by James Gunn. So this is James Gunn coming in and pretty much trying to his best to help the universe out. He did a great job with this movie. This movie was really good. This movie was very, very good. I don't care what a lot of people say, but once you work with Marvel for a little bit, or you work with a franchise that does continuous building to the next phase, the next movie, the next whatever, you bring them in to a bunch of rookies or people that don't know what they're doing, or they think they know what they're doing and they're not doing it correctly, and they stand out. James Gunn stand out. This movie stand out. I don't know what y'all talking about. Bring Back Harley Quinn. Fantastic. I forgot about Amanda Waller. She was in the first one too. Shout out to Viola Davis. God dang goat right there. Viola Davis. I probably said her name incorrectly twice. That's all right. But she played that role perfect. Then again, I'm watching How to Get Away with Murder. I'm biased. She played that role so perfectly. It's like, keep bringing her back. She is the necessary heel that we need. We need that. We need that every time. She played her role excellent well. The whole, she don't really give a crap about people, and it's about her. Perfect. To the T. He brought back Rick Flag, the guy, he was in the first one. I forgot about that. He was in the first one. Brought him back to let him redeem himself from that crappy movie he was part of. I'm so happy he was back for that one. The Bloodsport being introduced. Still don't know too much about Bloodsport. John Cena playing, who was he? What is his name? Forgot what they call him. Wasn't Peacemaker? That was his name? Peacemaker? I think that was his name. Peacemaker. John Cena in them films is kind of funny. Let's be honest here. I don't know what we're doing here. He's the better actor than The Rock. Let's talk about it. Anyway, he played that role perfectly well. We got Rat Capture number 2, which was the Rat Capture number 1's daughter. Don't know much about that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know much about the Rat Capture at all. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know much about him. We had a guy that's polka dots, and his polka dots is actually, it was either explosives or it was something high tier with them polka dots. I forgot exactly what it was. I know they kill people though. That's what I do know. That's all I do know. They brought in a weasel that died. No, take that back. The weasel did not die. The weasel, not only did the weasel survive at the very end, the TV series that John Guns has done, which is called Creature Commandos, that's what Weasel pops back up, aka continuing, something that we like, something easy. A continuation of a character that we thought was gone, came back. Holy crap, he survived. What the F? They had Boomerang come back. He was part of the first group. So I love the fact that there was the first group. The first group took that major L. And then they said, we need a second group. This didn't work as well. It's called the Suicide Squad. Make it seem like it. And that's exactly what they did with this film. It wasn't just a bunch of, oh yeah, well, we can get it. Hey, this creature, we can't beat somebody. No, they actually made it to where it was the first group. That group couldn't do anything. They failed. They died. They got killed off. And then we got this next group that's supposed to be better. Granted, this main villain, which is Starro, which is AKA, if y'all do not know, that is Justice League's first main villain in the comic books. You know what? We're not going to talk too much about that. I'm just saying, it's in the comic books. Starro was the very first main villain for the Justice League. When the Justice League first ever created, Starro is the main villain of that first, of them being together. I'm not tripping though, because in live action, it works. You know what I'm saying? Live action, it worked perfectly, and I was fine with it. Is it bias talking? Yeah. Yes. Bloodsport was out there whipping some tail. I enjoyed it. Love the mask. I love that they can accurate. Is it comic book accurate? I don't know if they comic book accurate outfits, but they seem like it, because what else would he put that ugly mask on? Let's be honest here. Good. It was good. I definitely enjoyed it. Harley Quinn played her role really well. By the way, James Gunn, let's put a pause for this real quick. James Gunn, you probably won't never listen to this podcast, but just in case you do, one of his people that's close to him, whoever, let me tell you this right now. Margaret Robbie is going to be the perfect Harley Quinn. Keep recruiting her. The guy who played Rick Flag, keep recruiting him. He played that role too well. So far, those are two people I'm saying, bring them back. Keep going with them. I enjoyed them. I think they play the characters. I think they bring the characters to life. I think Margaret Robbie, I think she has everything that you need to enhance the Harley Quinn character even further. I think she can do that. I'm like 100% sure she can do that. Because so far, she's played her role really well. I think she can keep doing it. I think Homeboy to play Rick Flag, I think he did great. I think Madam Davis, she's played Amanda Waller. Continue bringing her back. We are setting up people to play these roles correctly, and I'm enjoying them. I'm just saying, keep going. Make sure you bring them back. That's all. Bring in Gut Gusson too, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, good film. I loved it. I enjoyed it. A lot of people say they like the first one better. Arguably, I can argue with that one. I mean, I think I take this one over the first film mainly because the first film had too many problems. This film had, in my personal opinion, it was just perfect. It was just exactly what you wanted for a suicide film. In my personal opinion, that's just me though. Just me, just me alone. I might be the only one, but it is what it is. I ain't tripping about that. So we go from the Suicide Squad and we take some L's. We take about arguably 3 L's in a row. It is the Black Adam film. No, I'm not a fan. Was not a fan. Sorry, I didn't drop my pieces. Anyway, the Black Adam film. As soon as they said Dwayne the Rock Johnson is playing Black Adam, I knew exactly what was gonna happen before it happened, because he was like, "Well, Black Adam, he's not a villain." Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Green Lantern is the hero in the story. Black Adam is not your hero. He is the villain. So with that in mind, I knew exactly how it was everything gonna go. So when The Rock said he didn't want to make Black Adam this evil villain guy, I'm like, this is the problem. This is one of the problems I have. You bring in these actors or actresses that don't know nothing about these characters and try to flip it on people's heads, saying, "Oh, Black Adam, he don't have to be a villain." Yes, he does. That's literally what he is. He is a villain in this entire arc. What are we doing here? So, with that being in mind, this whole Black Adam film was nothing but making it seem like Black Adam was this savior, protector guy, not a villain. He's a good guy. He's an anti-hero. He's none of that. He's none of that. Dwayne The Rock Johnson said it's that. Stop casting this man and stuff. I heard rumors that Marvel, I'm not going to bring that up, but stop casting actors like that. Please stop, because all they're doing is screwing up films. The movie, action-wise, it was good action. Storyline-wise, didn't care about it. Acting-wise, I don't remember any of it. I'm not going to lie. It's one of those films I watched and blanked out because no thank you. I don't care for that movie. The movie was not ideal. It would never be ideal. As soon as you get somebody that says, he ain't gonna be, yeah, he do. Yeah, he do. As soon as you try to change the origin stories of a character because you don't like the way it is, and then you have creative power because you're in Hollywood and you're one of Hollywood's bigger actors, that's when the problem really starts up. Once you start using your power to get what you want, that's when you screw up. And I'm not a fan of that. So he screwed up the movie for me. And even at the very end, they made it very worse. At the very end, press credit scenes. Why is Henry Cavill dressed up as a Superman again, and we're supposed to be getting a showdown with Black Adam? What are we doing? What are we doing? There's nothing that Black Adam could say to no. There's just no. Especially with Shazam across the road. I said Green Lantern, didn't I? My apologies. I'm tripping. I'm missing the two. Black Adam is Shazam's main villain. That is his direct opposite. Shazam already had a film that came out. They already know what the problem is going to be when these two collide. No problem. But in the same voice that I said this, your next film is Shazam: Fury of the Gods. First of all, I can't remember a lot about this movie. I just know it's a bunch of stuff that's happening throughout this whole film. I ain't gonna lie. There's a bunch of stuff that's happening. The part that we might have to take for our fantasy when I bring back fantasy again. I like the little fighting scenes, the whole city lockdown, and I like that. I have to rewatch the movie again. The movie is, I don't remember it. Yeah, I don't remember it. Why? Is because a long time ago. That's one. Two, it was a bunch of stuff that I felt like it felt like it was a bunch of stuff that was happening, but at the same time, it wasn't something that stayed within my mindset. As I can tell, when I review stuff, I don't really go back and I don't pull up nothing on my TV or my phone. The only thing I look at is just the plot, and that's how I remember stuff. I don't remember anything. I know Lucy Liu was in this. Shout out to Lucy Liu. It was something about them being ancient wizards or something, and artifacts or something, and taking. I don't remember. It was just a bunch of stuff that was going on. I think the whole problem was Billy Baston was getting ready to age out because he was like 17. He was going to be 17 soon, and he thought he was going to keep his family and all the stuff. He's going to get kicked out or something like that, which we really didn't spend too much time on that part. Let's be honest here, because at the very end, I said, you can stay here forever. You know that, right? Oh, I can stay here forever? Yeah, you live here. Like, where else you going to go? You don't have a house. Well, I don't like you don't have anything. So yes, you have to stay here. We can't kick you out. I mean, we're like dumb parents for kicking out literally one of our kids that have powers. We all know y'all have powers. Why would we kick you out? That's dumb on our part. No. A bunch of stuff. Shout out to Megan Good. I didn't know she was part of the. I forgot she was in the first one. Yeah, she's in this too. Because she's one of the siblings that has powers. Yeah. Overall, don't remember it. I will never. Will I never? Will? Yeah, I'll have. No, I can just rewatch the battle scenes. I don't have to watch. Yeah, I probably won't watch this movie ever again. I don't really. It's just a bad film, quite honestly. It was there. It was cute. Didn't care for it, long term wise. The next one and the last one we're gonna talk about, because this is the last one I actually watched. It is the whole they call it The Flash. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know I'm not happy about that. I know I was not happy. If you know me, you know I was nowhere near happy. As soon as they said what the film was supposed to be about, and it wasn't Grant Gustin taking over the mantle because Erzon or whatever his name is, or they name, sorry, I don't want to disrespect anybody, whatever they name is. After all that drama that happened, and they would still allow him to keep doing the film, and they didn't decided to take him out and keep Grant Gustin as the new Flash moving forward, I know the movie's going to be bad. I didn't know the movie's going to be that bad. So, as someone who's watching the Flash TV series and watch a couple of animated series and stuff, I knew this movie was going to be bad. So, we're going to have Iris and the Flash. Not rumors, but spoiler alert, they know each other's. Not only do they know each other's, the Flash literally had to live with them. You know? Here in this film, at their age, they did not know one another. How? How are we supposed to believe that these two is going to get married if they don't know each other's? What are we doing here? I was like, so they don't know each other's at all? Like, not even coming to the coffee shop and we get the same coffee every day? None of that? No, nothing. That's a choice. That's one choice. That's choice one. Choice two. Flashpoint. Unnecessary. No, what was unnecessary is watching Batman and Wonder Woman pop up in this film. Very unnecessary. But that's what they was wanting to go, because they wanted to do Flashpoint. Unnecessary to Flashpoint because there's so much stuff that happens in Flashpoint that you cannot just limit it down. If you do Flashpoint, guess who's very important for the Flashpoint? I don't know. This is one guy. This is one guy. He has speed. He used the negative force. He wears yellow and red. What's his name? He's like a very important character to the Flash universe. What's his name? Eobon Thorne? The Reverse Flash? Yeah, that's a very important character to have for your Flashverse, people. He's the main villain of the Flash, and the fact that at that point in time, still not introduced to the universe. How? I understand. You want to do the Justice League? Fine. You can do the Justice League and not introduce Eobon Thorne. Cool. You do a whole Flash movie. Didn't bring up the name. Didn't discuss it. Didn't say anything about him. You act like he didn't exist. Trash. You time travel him to the past. He cannot meet himself and hang out with an old version of himself before he got his powers and still be okay. That's not how Flashpoint works. That's not how any of that works. Not only that none of any of that works, he cannot stay around the same guy he's supposed to avoid to screw up the timeline. Not only that, but he helped the same old Flash get his power still. What are we doing? I'm gonna keep making it worse. Just in case you did not know, there is like this Black Flash that's like a time remnant. And he stops the Flash from going back in time because he screws up the timeline. That character did not make a debut in this film at all either. We are just taking nothing but L's in this entire movie. We get General Zod as the main villain. Why? He's not the Flash's villain. That's Superman's problem. That's okay. We'll get a super person in here. We'll get Supergirl. Okay, I'm cool with her. I think the character was solid. I think she was cool. And it's all right. That's my little one. She just woke up. I'm not tripping about her, though. We are taking nothing but straight up L's in this entire film. And you said this is the Flash film. All the way just to say that the Flash is the main villain of the Flashverse. Nostalgia hit hard because they decided to go ahead and bring back, what's his name? He brought back the early Batman, Michael Keaton. That's his name. Everybody was happy because Michael Keaton was able to suit up for the first time since that time. That was it. That's the film. That movie sucked. I hated that film. And I'm glad that the DCEU died because of that. That's the third film or fourth film. I stopped taking track. I'm glad it died because it's like that. Bad writing. Horrible writing. Trying to play me like a joke. Like I don't know nothing about the Flash or something. I ain't that dumb. Come on now. I know a little bit of something. But that's all your movies. That's all your movies. That's your platform. Basically, if the DCEU was doing a lot of origin stories, they was hitting the nail on the head. I don't know how, but 4 of them, they was doing perfectly. They said, bow, 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 bow. We did 4 of them. We did good. Cool. Anything else? Please. Left to desire. Now, from the movies, we are now going to be taking a look at the council projects. These are council projects that were at some point rumored over the entire year. So this goes back to, let me see, the Man of Steel was what year? Man of Steel was 2013. So from 2013 up until whenever it died off, when was the last film? The last film was 2023. By then the universe was dead. So from 2013 to 2023, these were projects, movies that were supposed to have came out, but for one reason or another, it got canceled, and some of them got canceled and supposed to be reworked a little later under the DCU because of James Gunn. Let's talk about it. First of all, we're talking about the Amazons. We're talking about Wonder Woman's people in general. Does this need a whole film to themselves? No. TV series work perfectly fine for this. And the reason why is because, like I said earlier, when you get to a point to where a lot of stuff doesn't need to be live action movies, big time movies, this is one of those issues. The Amazons. I would love to know more about the Amazons. I'd like to see more stuff from them. However, a lot of people won't care about them because we've already did the Wonder Woman films. But this is the DCU now, so they're going to be bringing this up. Does we call this? I think they're calling it a certain name. Actually, let me take a back look at my notes. Hold on. They are going to be calling this Paradise Lost. So if Paradise Lost is going to be focusing on Wonder Woman, and this is how we get our Wonder Woman, our very first Wonder Woman, our new Diana. Cool, let's do that. If we're not, and we're just focusing on all of them besides her, that sounds like need to be a TV series. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna spend my money to go watch that. But then again, I am probably spending a lot of money to go watch these DC films because I'm going to be supporting the new franchise moving forward because we need alternates compared to the MCU. Because I'm very behind on the MCU too, but we need some alternates. So it depends on how good the reviews are. I'm not gonna lie. It depends on what my homeboy said about Superman. I'm not gonna care about the. If he says it's a good movie, I'm about to go watch it. Let's be honest here. So Amazonist should be interesting. Should not be interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. Batgirl. Oh, I hate laughing at this because it's disrespectful. So Batgirl actually finished filming. What? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, they had created Batgirl. They already had the Batgirl. They had the cast. They actually created the movie. They finished the movie. They decided not to release the movie. So that archive of Batgirl, the whole movie is out there, and what is that? A time box. Is that what they call it? I don't know what you call it. A time capsule. They created the movie. The entire movie's done. It's finished. Editing, all that is done. They're supposed to have released it. They decided not to release it and decided to push it to the time capsule. Why? I mean, the universe is already dead. Bring the film. I was a little excited to see what they was going to do with it. I was like, it probably wasn't going to be good, but I don't care. Let me see it now. Don't don't say, oh yeah, hey, hey, yo, we got a Batgirl movie. What? We got a Batgirl movie. Okay, let's see it. Yeah, we're not going to let you see it. What? Then why did you make the movie for if we can't watch the movie? What are we doing here? Who's this? This for them? Forget them. I want to watch it. Give me my Batgirl film. What are we doing here? We need more. We need to establish Batman's people. We know Batman. We know Batwoman because of the TV show. We know Robin, Nightwing. We know that. Let's get some Batgirl action up in this motherfucker. What are we doing? They say, no. We're going to put Batgirl back in our back pocket. Y'all can't see her. Trash. Replace the whole. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad the universe is dead because of decisions like this. Bad decision. Because that's a movie that's there waiting to be seen, and now fans can't see it, and they shelved it and they kept it to themselves. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Who does that? That's bad. Next up was Ben Affleck's The Batman film. Yes, apparently this was supposed to be Matt Reeves doing this. So Ben Affleck was supposed to have his own solo film. You know, we talked about that earlier. We talked about the fact that they should have gave him a solo film for him and Jared Leto's Joker to go ahead and get everything out that needed to be out. And we're supposed to get this. Well, they shoved it / canceled it. Turn around, Matt Reeves still got his Batman film, but this is with Robert Pattinson. So now that Robert Pattinson has his Batman film and James Gunn's doing his DCU, a lot of people was like, well, what does this mean now with the with this verse? Does he no longer play Batman or something? I mean, what are we doing here? Basically, from what I've seen, what I heard is that the Batman, Matt Reeves' Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman, works in like a second setting of the DCU. The same thing with the Penguin. Second setting, not involved with DCU, not involved with James Gunn stuff. Okay. So I was like, okay, so are they going to plan on like bringing Robert Pattinson Batman over in general? Like, no, because in Creature Commanders, which is canon so far to the DCU, that brought in Batman. And we're talking about classic Batman, the black cape, the gray outfit Batman from the animated series Batman. That's being approved. So it was like, okay, we got to step back. Robert Pattinson ain't that big. He doesn't have that muscle strength. He don't have any of that. So who's going to play this new Batman? Apparently, we got some rumors out there. And y'all know me. I like looking at some rumors. But the guy who was playing, I don't know if you guys seen Titans. So in Titans, the guy who ended up playing Hawkeye or Hawkman, or he was playing one of those characters that was connected with the girlfriend or whatever. Rumorsly, he's supposed to be this new Batman. That's the rumors have it, or that's what people are pushing for. And the dude, he does have the muscle build. If I'm not mistaken, he does have the muscle build. He look like he can fit the outfit, and that's what's up. Because if this is what kind of version we get for Batman from James Gunn, I'm not gonna lie. The DCU about to cook. My boy, they about to cook barbecue chicken cook. Like, we about to toss it up type cooking, and that mug's gonna be good. I can't wait. Because I'm excited. Like, that makes me excited when I saw that. When I seen a little trailer that's like, oh, we got the new Batman. I said, I know you lying, because that motherfucker, I know that Batman. That was my dog. That was the real Batman, not that fake Batman. I said, all right, bet. So we got to figure that out. We got to figure out. So we got the movie canceled, but do I care? Not really. Because Robert Pattinson's The Batman film, that was still a solid movie. It was long, it was awkward moments for me, because I'm not used to Batman being around cops and stuff, though. It's like year 2 Batman. I'm not used to that stuff, but overall, I thought it was a cool movie. I thought it was a good movie, solid movie. I thought it was cool. So I'm cool with that. I'm definitely good with that. I'm definitely good with that version of Batman. So that's what's up. Next up, they was planning on doing a Batman Beyond, and they would have had Michael Keaton coming back. So, just in case you guys did not know what that have meant, Batman Beyond was a TV series back in the day. One of the good animated TV series back in the day. It had do a major development to where like 10, 20 years later, Bruce Wayne is not Batman no more. He's older. He doesn't put on the Batman suit. He's done being Batman. Well, then this young kid comes in and he pretty much pick up the mantle of Batman, but he's not Batman. He's Batman Beyond. His is an all black outfit and a red. He has the red symbol, unlike Batman. Not only that, he was a little bit smaller, little legs, big body type ish. You know what I'm saying? Cool little character though. But it's a feature-rich Batman movie and Batman TV series, and Bruce Wayne is just helping him throughout the film, helping him throughout the series. So the idea of them trying to make a live action film, that's kind of crazy. They was going to bring Michael Keaton back for that. That would have been very interesting. I'd have been interested in it. I'm not going to lie, I've been very interested. Speaking of very interesting, we had rumors that they're trying to make a Batman Beyond video game. I'm interested in that. I'm like, hey, I ain't going to lie. Marvel have live action movies on lockdown and certain TV shows, but DC is killing them with the video games and the comic books, in my personal opinion. Or they may be even the comic books, but I heard more DC comic books than I hear about Marvel comic books. Let's be honest here. DC be doing them things, man. Don't sleep on DC. DC be doing their things, in my personal opinion. But yeah, so if they do the video game, I'm interested because if that's true, I would love to play it. That's one. Two, I forgot to tell y'all guys, I have downloaded the Arkham trilogies, the Arkham video games or whatever they call them from way back in the day that I never played. I got to download it. I still got to wait for it to completely download it. I ain't finished download them all the way, but I will be starting up that at some point when I decided to actually play them. And when I play them, I'm probably just going to put them on the House of Dre's YouTube channel. Just go look at, is it the House of Andre? It might be the House of Andre. I'm pretty sure it's House of Dre. On YouTube, and I'll probably just put the episode, do it by episodes or whatever, or however I'm going to do it, because I got like an hour minimal of recording for my recordings. I'll probably just do it like that and put them up on there, and we just run like that, and I just have some fun like that. Watch me struggle to play a game. It might be interesting, but I'll jump on that. If the Batman Beyond game is real, I need to get up on my horse and get to getting. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get to getting. Next up, that was canceled was a Black Adam sequel. No, I'm good because I don't know if that meant The Rock was coming back. If that meant The Rock was coming back, no, because there's nothing to do with him. Next up was a Black Carney live action. So they had her replaying her role, and they would have done that. No. Like, no thank you. And the reason why I said no thank you, because once again, she's more involved with the Green Lantern. I mean, not the Green Lantern, with the Green Arrow. Oh, no, yeah, the Green Arrow, yeah. She's involved with the Green Arrow. And unless it's a Green Arrow and Black Carney movie, I'm not interested. Make this a TV series if that's the case. If that's the case, this is a TV series. This is the definition of a TV series. Now you're starting to see where I'm going with. Definition of a TV series, and just leave it at that. TV series, let's get that started, get that going, and we're good to go. If it's not that, I don't want to watch it because that sounds like 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours movies that might be a waste of time. And I would have hated for that to happen to her, especially with them fools in charge. So I'm good. We're good on that. We don't need to see that. We need to see her with Green Arrow, but not by herself. Next up was Booster Gold. Now, Booster Gold, I don't know anything about Booster Gold, quite honestly. Let me be honest with y'all. I don't know anything about Booster Gold. I know he was supposed to be in, if they were to continue with, it was DC's Legends of Tomorrow's TV series, right? A show that a lot of people didn't like. I enjoyed it for entertainment purposes, right? He made his debut at the very end of the very end last season. He made his debut. With him making his debut, we was assuming we was going to get something with Booster Gold for the first time. You know, I get to see the character, see how he acts, and then go do my research. But the show got canceled. I never got to see what he was supposed to be, what it was he's about. That sucks. But one of these, I think he's gonna be one of those characters to where it's kind of like when Marvel started introducing the Guardians of the Galaxies and all these other characters. We didn't know anything about them, so we needed to figure that out first. And I think that's exactly what Booster Gold would have been, figuring out who he is, how he is, and how everything would have ran, in my personal opinion. But I don't know about that one. The next one is Creature Commanders. We're not gonna spend any time with this because it did end up happening under James Gunn. And like I said, that's where Weasel from the Suicide Squad movie, that's where he ended up popping up in. And then the new potential brand new Batman, that's where he came up in. So we're good here. We good here. The next stuff they was talking about was Crisis on Infinity Earths film. Nah, y'all got it. Y'all got this. Because there is no way on this planet Earth that not, and I do mean not, you're not even trying anymore. What are you talking about? You're trying to make a Crisis on Infinity Earths movie. We did that on the TV show, and that was like 5-6 episodes. 5 episodes, about 40 plus 50 minutes a piece. What's 50 times 5? I can't do the math off the top of my head. That is 125 hours worth of TV shows that they TV writing. That's the movie right there. We don't need to see what y'all do. All we needed was y'all to say it's okay to put Batman in there. That's all we need to do. That's all. Just say we can say the character's name and we can put the woman in there. That's it. We don't need a film dedicated. Hey! We don't need a whole film dedicated to something y'all haven't built up. That's idiotic. The TV shows, they've been building us up for years and years and years to do it. Y'all was gonna just throw it out there on film? Crazy work. That'd have been crazy work. Next up, another character that they just said they probably needed was the Cyborg live action movie. For what? Respectfully, but for what? He is a character that you introduced for the Justice League. He became a Justice League character, whatever. You fast forward. Let's fast forward. You fast forward. You fast forward and you're trying to give him his solo film. He's not that interested in getting a solo film. Sorry. He's more interested in a group setting. The Justice League. The Teen Titans. Why? This will be a TV show. This will be a TV show. And then that TV show might even not be that good because I don't think I'm spending time watching because I'm not gonna lie, they did a solid job of building up the character on. He popped up in Titans too. So what? What do you mean a solo film? This when the big wigs started getting him too interesting. They're like, oh, people like this character. Oh, we can do a solo film. No, we don't care for that. We don't care for that. I don't care for that. I'm not doing that. That's idiotic. That's just wasting my time again. Wasting my time. But the next character that they was talking about, they should get a solo film. Now, yeah, we're on solo moves. Deadshot. They was like, yeah, Deadshot, he can get his own. No. Not a solo film, no. After that, Deathstroke. No. We don't need live action of just 2 characters. What are we doing here? These 2 characters fit into the lore. Deadshot and Deathstroke are Batman/Robin villains. Why are we introducing them, trying to get them on own live TV series? What do we mean? Films for what? For what? They could be solid. They could be TV series. They could be that. They're not about to be sitting up here being your own. They're not about to be sitting up here being your freaking live action movie. Who want to go out? I'm about to go spend money. Which one to watch that Deadshot? What? Because Will Smith was playing in it? Respectfully? No. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't know what we're doing here. And then Deathstroke, I'm not doing the same thing for him either. No. Characters like this, they're not villains getting live action TV series, TV shows, I mean, not TV show, movies are a no-go. A no-go. They did Suicide Squad, but it was a squad. It wasn't a solo film. And now you're trying to tell me, well, you know we could do it for... No, you can't. You cannot. Not around my people, you can't. We're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. After that one, we'll take a look at the next film they was talking about was the Flash sequel. No, I wouldn't have been interested. This is this is when they said they'll put Reverse Flash. Yeah, we're good. I'm not doing that. The Green Lantern and then the Green Lantern Corps. So those are two different Green Lantern films that they was talking about doing. Well, let's talk about both of them together. Well, Green Lantern was a character, like I said, only Zack Snyder was talking about, they had an ideal about putting him into his movie, but then he scrapped it. So we had the concept art and everything for him. And he was like, oh, well, I decided to take it away. Hey, bro, you have 4 hours. You could have he could have been in there. You decided not to. Now, Green Lantern, outside of Zack Snyder say something about it, we only had one, and that was Ronald Reynolds' version, and I still never watched it to this day. I refused to watch it because I already knew it was going to be bad. I said, you got the man who's supposed to be Deadpool playing this film. I'm not watching this. Not watching this at all. And AKA, it was bad. I wonder why. Moving forward, with James Gunn, the GOAT. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let me stop. James Gunn is already pushing for the Lantern series in general. He already have his not Hall Jordan. I'm jumping. Let me take it back. The first Green Lantern, which is Hall Jordan, I'm correct. He will appear in the Superman film. He's in the trailer. He's in there with his crappy haircut and everything. Perfect. We already got our John Stewart. He's been announced. He will be in the Green Lantern series that they're making. Cool. You hear that part though? What did I say? Series. Perfect. Whatever happens in the DC, whatever happened in the Superman film when it comes to Green Lantern, whatever happens. But we get John Stewart, and then moving forward, John Stewart will be taking over the Green Lantern role, and Green Lantern is here. I'm good. So I'm glad we didn't get to touch that. I'm good. I'm good. Let James Gunn do what he do. I'm like, thank God. Like, because holy crap. Whoa. Next up this is a very interesting one because I think me and my wife, we was very interested in this one. It was called the Gotham City Sirens. This would have been a team of Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. They were all supposed to be in this film together. I don't know what it was supposed to have been, though. I think this is supposed to be, building the relationship. No, let me take a look. They were saying this was supposed to be Harley Quinn and Joker's breaking up and stuff. This was also supposed to have been, let me see. This is supposed to have been building the relationship between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Interesting. Very interesting. That would have been interesting. But I'm glad it didn't happen, question mark. I'm just glad it didn't happen. The next step was supposed to be Harley Quinn versus the Joker, which is something I was talking about from the Suicide Squad and stuff like that. No information about what they was planning on doing with that film. I think they were just going to be doing it just to do it, quite honestly. Let's be quite honestly about that. I think they were just doing it just to do it, just to say that they had these two go at it in the film. I don't think it would have been well received because of something like that, because men on women violence and stuff. I don't think the world would have been okay with that, especially during 2017 or whenever the movie was supposed to come out. But you never know. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to pause this. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. I just had to take a little break, man. I've been recording for a little bit. Next up was a character called Our Man. I have no knowledge, no anything about him as a character, so I'm cool. The next person they was trying to do was John Constantine, which I'm not mistaken. I feel like they did do a TV series off of him, if I'm not mistaken. But this would have been a sequel to the 2005 film. That is crazy work. So I wanted to, that's so far ago that I wouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. I would have just made a brand new Constantine, the John Constantine from the DC Legends of Tomorrow. He would have been perfect for it. He's already put in a role for it, and we enjoy it. So I think this would have been absolutely perfect for it. I think absolutely. You didn't make a mess. Absolutely perfect for him to revise that role and play that role of John Constantine. But to make it a movie, TV series would have been better. TV series is always better for characters like that to establish them and get them involved in lore. Not only that, but it gives you opportunities to whoever he runs into, he can go ahead and does what he does best. You know what I'm saying? You know, his whole thing is selling his soul multiple times throughout his life, and people are trying to collect, and they're like, nope, I got his soul. And they're like, no, I got his soul. I'm like, no, he sold it to me first. Like, what? Like, why you keep selling your soul to these people? What is wrong with you? I'm like, what? I got stuff to do. I don't know what to tell you. I got stuff to do, type ish. Next up, they was talking about it was a untitled Joker film. There'd have been Jared Leto coming back to play the Joker. So, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like I said, everything that we needed from the Joker would have been done in a Batman film. It would have been Batman and Joker doing their thing in the Batman solo film. Nothing with the Joker. What other sequel can you have with the Joker outside of that? That'd have made no sense. But the thought that they was thinking about, oh yeah, well, we'll just do a Joker solo film. No. Just straight up no. That's all I'm gonna say. Just no thank you. We don't need that. And that's bad universe, man. I tell y'all, these directors and Warner Brothers in their desperateness of trying to create something out of nothing failed them in the long term wise, because that would have made no sense to try to push that when you could have done that with the solo Batman film. Next up was the untitled Justice League sequel, which would have been Justice League number 2. And I'm assuming that's what Zack Snyder had in plan with the whole dark side and his arrival and all that drama that they was trying to push. That's the only thing I can really think of would have been that for the part 2. And they would have split it up into part 2 and part 3. They were trying to build it up like the Avengers, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't going to work out. The next up they was talking about doing was Justice League Dark. This one, now you're flirting with the multiverse once again. You're going too far. That's what you're doing. You be going too far. Why y'all going too far? Well, mainly it's because you're trying to adopt so much stuff in a little bit of time that you have. So their thought process was, let's do this one now. No, you can't do that. No, we haven't done anything. The Justice League is barely established. After you establish the Justice League, you're trying to jump forward to the Justice League Dark. Like, let's hold on and not do that. Let's do something completely different before we do any of that. Let's try something different. And they wasn't trying to. But if the idea was to do Justice League Dark just to do one, that would have been bad. It would have been cool later on when they're established as a real group, but I don't think that would have worked out long term wise. Next up, they was talking about doing a Krypton show. Now, that's very interesting because I feel like they was going to do that anyway. But just trying to read through all the stuff. It seemed like they were just going to be focusing on, I guess, a prequel. You want to call it a prequel? A prequel to everything and how everything was going to end up happening. Well, I guess that would have been decent. That would have been decent for more Superman lore, if anything. Next one they was talking about was making Loeb. Apparently Michael Bay was attached to this film. Holy crap. No thank you. Random explosions just to have an explosion. Crazy work. But I think they're going to have Jason Momoa come back to play Loeb anyway, because that's something he said that whenever he was going he was going out to casting anyway, he thought he was supposed to be playing that role in general because that's the only one he was thinking of doing anyway. And they're like, oh no, you're not Aquaman. He's like, oh, okay. So now that he's going to be able to play a character that he wanted to play in the first place will be good for not only him, but for the universe in general. So we could be seeing something with that. What it would be, I don't know. I don't know, but we would assume this is the ideal. This would be something. I don't know if he's gonna be. I think he might just appear in one of the films and then he gets a solo film if that's that important. But kind of like it's gonna be very. I think a lot of things that James Gunn is gonna be doing is gonna be very similar to how Marvel did a lot of things. Like Black Panther was introduced during Captain America: Civil War, and then we get the Black Panther film. Same thing with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. We get we get Tom Holland as Spider-Man in Civil War, and then we get the Spider-Man Homecoming films, you know. So it's always a good idea to go ahead and bring a character in the middle of one of the films and then get a solo film or TV series based off of the character and bring in the lore for that character. I think that'd be better. Next up, they're talking about Madam X, which I don't know who she is. I guess she's supposed to be tied in with the Justice League of Dark. I'm gonna take a look at who she's supposed to be. She's a sorcerer from from a certain mythology. I don't know anything about her though. Madam X. Got crazy a lot of abilities. Apparently she was in Swamp Thing. So okay, she was in Swamp Thing, but yeah, I don't know anything about her. I don't know ball on her. I'm not gonna lie. Don't know ball on her. The next one was supposed to have been the untitled Man of Steel sequel, so a second Batman Superman film. Cool. That would have been ideal, was to do another one, but you know, they you know what I'm saying? I guess no. Like they had a lot of issues with trying to figure stuff out, whatever it is. But cool. We would have gotten another one. We would have got a continuation to a second Batman film, which is something I don't understand how they went so far and never done a second Batman film in general. They went from Superman film. They went from Man of Steel, which was good, and then they did Dawn of Justice and killed them off. And it's like, alrighty. I'm gonna say, okay, we'll bring them back. But after that, we're gonna do nothing with Superman at all. We'll just be done with Superman in general. So that kind of sucks. So now we get James Gunn's Superman, and I already know he's gonna treat him better. Let's be honest, I already know. The next stuff they was talking about doing was called Metal Man. Metal Men, the Metal Men. That's what that is. What is the Metal Men? They are part of the Civil Age of comic books. I don't know who these characters are supposed to be. Were they supposed to be important enough to make a entire film out of? They're based off of Magnus Labs. Members are Copper, Gold, Lead, Iron, Lead, Dr. Will Magnus, Mercury, Nameless, Platinum, and then Tin. What? What is this team supposed to? What is this supposed to be? I don't know I don't know what is the idea behind this entire group. Hold on, let me take a reading look real quick. Man, I read that and I still don't understand. Why would that be a thing? That sounds like a TV series. And yeah, I don't. Okay, apparently they have plans to bring them in at some point. Just don't know when. Okay. The next up was talking about the new gods, which would have been. I don't know. New gods are very interesting. I guess they would have probably came in doing Dark Side and the all that. I'd assume. I don't know what they would plan to do with New Gods in general. So I know New Gods is a little comic book where, you know, there's gods in general. You know what I'm saying? The new version of the gods of the DC universe, which are full of them. So characters. Yeah, they would have been crazy bringing in all these because this is a lot of. They had to probably bring in a certain amount. They couldn't bring in all these characters. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that would have been ideal to bring in new gods at any point of time during any of this time frame. Let's be honest here. Next up, they was talking about doing a Nightwing project / movie or something like that. I guess to explore his history post Batman. That'd have been interesting, I guess. That could have been something. But they would have still need the crazy part about all that, they still would have need to work in not Batman, Nightwing in general, because he had not made his debut at all for the DCEU. So the fact that they would skipped over that and then he'd been Nightwing and not talk about his time as Robin and his relationship with Batman, that'd have been a mistake. Let's be honest here. Next up, they was talking about doing a Black Manta film, which is Aquaman's villain, and they talking about this has been a horror themed spinoff. Why? Why? What would have been? No. Next up, they was talking about thinking was doing a Plastic Man, which would have been an action comedy film. He's a side character. I don't think he needs a live action film. Let's be completely honest with that. I don't think he would need to be. Yeah, I don't think he needed his own film. Static Shock would have been great. A live action one. Yeah, he would have been awesome. That's time Michael B. Jordan would have been joining the production team and producer. That would have been good. I think that would have been really good to do a Static Shock. I think it'd still be good getting young black kid. It's probably somebody who hasn't got too many big time TV shows or time on the screen and have them play a Static Shock and bring forth Static Shock. That'd have been like that's ideal. Doesn't work as a team. He just does his own thing. That is something that Marvel hasn't done yet. So why not go ahead and push forward? I think that'd have been great. Eventually have him and Black Lightning do a crossover. I mean, you introduce the Black Lightning into the DCU. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's do Static Shock, 100%. Let's do that. That'd have been a great thing to do. They was talking about doing a Supergirl film, which okay, that would have been. And I don't know who they would have had doing it. Supergirl, blah 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 blah. It'd have been Sasha. It would have been the same chick that got cast in the role for the Flash movie. She would have played this one. But of course, all that's gone now with, yeah. Okay. So now, because now they're planning on doing the Supergirl One of Tomorrow, which will have Millie Alcock as as Supergirl. Okay. Let's see. It's talking about doing a Vlad Zod television series. Who is Vlad Zod? Who would have been this one? Who is this one? I don't know anything about Vlad Zod. Who is this supposed to be? He'd have been Earth 2's. He's the Earth 2's universes takes over the role as Superman. Alrighty. Is this supposed to be a black Superman, if I'm not mistaken? I wonder if this is supposed to have been that or what have you. I don't know, but yeah. And we don't need multiverses. That's my thing. We wouldn't need a multiverse. So yeah, I think that's supposed to mean like, yep, the black Superman. Yeah, we don't need all that. We don't need all of that. Waller, which would have been a TV series, supposedly to do some spinoff of the Suicide Squad. I don't think she needed any of that. I think we just needed her to make her presence known throughout the entire universe. That's pretty much all you need there. They're talking about doing the Wonder Twins. Don't I remember them? Yeah, Wonder Twin powers activate. Form Earth. Yeah. Yeah, I remember these. I remember these two. Yeah, the Wonder Twins would have been that'd have been interesting, but I don't know interesting enough for a live action film. I don't know too much about them. I don't really remember much. When I was watching them as a kid, I really didn't remember much of them, other TV series and who their main villain is and anything like that. So they'll have to introduce all that. That's an origin story, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think the DCEU did do good with the origin stories. So maybe they could have done it, but at the same time, I don't think they really needed to push forward with something like that. Probably a TV series or so. I think that would have been cool and then make it canon, but that's something they wasn't doing at all. So I don't know. Wonder Woman 1854. So whenever there was a picture that Bruce Wayne had found from the Justice League that saw Wonder Woman with these people, and apparently that was have been the movie was to talk about the 1854, what Wonder Woman was doing back then and all that stuff like that. Okay. I don't know how successful that would have been. I don't know, but It'd have been something. It'd have been something. I don't know how well that would have been. And then turn around, they was going to do a sequel to Wonder Woman 1984, but I don't know what that third film would have been like. I ain't gonna lie, that second film ruined her a lot. That second film screwed her up a lot. I don't know what the third film would have done. I don't know if they would have been righting the wrongs of the second one or how they would have been doing to do it. But that's a scary thought process. Let's be honest, that's a scary thought process for her to have a third film after that horrible second film. And I understand that a lot of times, the second films do suck, but that one was, that was a cook one. I ain't gonna lie, that was a cook one. So they was like, yeah, we can do a fourth, we can do a third one. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do. And then finally, the last one that got canceled stuff was called, what's the name? Zentania. I think that's how you say it, Zentania. Another movie that they was planning on doing that for a character that just needed her own TV series or something to establish her, or to make her debut in the middle of somebody else's movie that she has connections with, would have been better off. But that was all the council slash reworks that the DCEU would have done. A lot of them is crazy work because of what they probably thought people wanted to see and what they actually got. Oh man, that's way too much. There's a lot of stuff that the DCEU was trying to do. Like I said, a lot of these films are getting reworked now with James Gunn as the control head. I think he had come out and said they're only going to do a certain amount of projects throughout a year, and just to have settings and goals, which is good. Definitely good. The DCEU showcased us an entire universe that did bad because of bad writing, bad stories. I saw the origin stories, bad continuation, and then the Warner Brothers putting their hands in everything possible to screw up this universe that supposed to be making them money. They're supposed to be making them money, and they was too busy screwing it up rather than fixing it. Now with James Gunn creating the DCU Creature Commanders, which is a animated cartoon TV show, whatever. You can watch that to see how you messing with it. Peacemaker was also under James Gunn, also with John Cena. The very first film we are getting happens to be Superman, was supposed to be coming out later on this year, which should set the stage up for the DCU very nicely. The potential of Batman, the new version of Batman that he wants to go with, which looks like a classic version of Batman. That'd be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how James Gunn wants to build the DCU. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be very, very interesting. Because like I said, he could be doing the comic book styles. He could be going a mix of comic book styles and his own thought process or something. I don't know. It should be very interesting. But the fact that we got Superman coming out soon, we got a lot of characters appearing in that film. We got a potential Batman at some point and what he's planning on doing with that. The fact that Supergirl, the Woman of Tomorrow, is supposed to be coming eventually. They be starting production on that. So it seemed like James Gunn is already doing something that the other verse couldn't do, and that is understanding and strategizing exactly what he wants to do, how to do it, and how it's going to be ran. So I'm excited, like I said, for the DCU to come, man. I'm glad the DCEU is dead and gone. I don't want to see it. I'm so happy I don't have to see that crap. Yeah, that's it. That is the end of this podcast. Very long podcast, but like I said, I want to get back into more deeper podcasts like this, a lot more details and stuff like that. Make sure you guys are sharing the podcast, liking the podcast, reposting the podcast, getting your friends and family members involved. If you like the random stuff, anything impossible, but help the podcast continue to grow. And I will catch you guys on the next podcast.